Hello, and welcome to Recent Activity, your new favorite entertainment review podcast that attempts to cover every film, every show, all at once. I am your co-host, Andrew Morgan. With me, as always, is our podcast birthday boy, whose gift from me was not covering Borderlands, Mr. Shane Beauregard. How are you, sir?
I am doing great. I am ready to go this week. I'm ultra excited, and we got a lot to cover tonight.
And you're welcome. That we didn't have to watch Borderlands, which got annihilated critically, and nobody saw. Really?
Yeah, no one saw it. Yeah.
Because I went and looked at the Alien Romulus numbers, which is a movie we will be covering today, and I don't think it was even I don't even know if it was a top 5 movie this past weekend.
It was not.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you ever play the video game? Because I hear that's part of the reason. I guess people are like, it's not, they divert from the video game, which pissed gamers off on top of everything else.
I have not, but I work with 2 coworkers who loved the video game. And one saw the movie. Yeah. And said it was a disaster. They said, what pissed them off the most is they changed all the backstories of the characters from the video games.
Right.
They didn't match up to what they were in the video games.
Right.
So he just said it was poorly written. He said the action was fine, but like we both said, he said it's just a ripoff of Guardians of the Galaxy, pretty much.
Looks like it. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was not impressed.
Well, neither was the rest of the world. So good on him for that. But today we are going to cover a bunch of stuff. We got 5 movies we're going to cover. Again, because last week you and I did the stare down. We got on these mics and was just like, really? We're going to talk about these 2 fucking movies that nobody saw and that's it? But now we're going to, we said that was not the case. And then now this week, with the big headliner being Alien Romulus, we're going to talk 5 movies plus a new show on Apple TV Plus that just started starring Vince Vaughn called Bad Monkey that Shane caught over the weekend. So he's doing the heavy lifting the whole episode. Let's not front on that. Even though it was your birthday, you basically took advantage of said birthday weekend, I guess, by just watching and doing whatever the hell you wanted. And that's going to add a big old extra layer to this episode.
Yes, I did. The one thing I look forward to all year is laying around watching movies on my birthday, and that's exactly what I did, sir.
Yeah. That and Brazilian prime rib. So, if you want to give a review of that at the end, too, and give a shout out to your restaurant here, that's fine, too. We have enough time. But let's start with Alien Romulus. You were the one who was able to catch this. It didn't fit into my schedule, unfortunately. But obviously, was loving this trailer, produced by Ridley Scott. So, you're getting the original, the OG director, the OG creator of Alien coming back to help produce this and handing the reins over to Fede Alvarez, who I think we've probably talked about a little bit in the ramp up to this is I'm a little mixed on Fede Alvarez. So I was the trailer looks good, but it's a wait and see. If it's good, I'll believe it when I see it kind of a situation. But you caught it and I did not, so I should probably give the reins to you fully here. How was the experience? Because I know, did you do the ramp up before or after?
After.
Okay, so you watched Alien Romulus and then did the full package of the catch up. After. Yep. Okay. So then what was your experience watching Alien Romulus? It's got pretty solid reviews. The critics are a little kind of okay, but generally speaking, audiences are on board, at least with a minimum 7.5 IMDb, which is pretty solid.
Honestly, going into this movie, we both discussed we liked the trailer, but for an Alien franchise, the bar was low for me because I've been let down the last 3 ventures for the Alien franchise.
Right.
So I was like, oh god, they're throwing another one of these against the wall, and we both are up and down to Fede Alvarez, but honestly, this one sticks. It stuck for me. I loved this movie, I did. Nice. And I may be in the minority about gushing for this movie, but the cast was great. Kaylee Spaney, who we just saw in Civil War, is the lead in here. David Johnson, who we both liked in Rye Lane, plays a role in here, and Archie Renew and Isabel I forget her last name, but she's Dora the Explorer, and she was in
Merced, yeah.
Yeah, Merced,
Yeah.
and Madam Web, which we won't talk about. But anyway,
Yeah.
great cast. It's kind of these scavengers on this mining planet by Wayland, and they go on this little mission to kind of scavenge from the space station so they can leave their crappy planet and hopefully go to a new, brighter place. And obviously, everything starts falling apart once they find this derelict space station just floating there. That's when the crap hits the fan. But
Yeah.
you get kind of like boots on the ground to see what kind of world they live in, which kind of reminded me of like the Blade Runner world.
Okay.
Just not as neon-y bright.
Right.
Just that gritty, disgusting, nasty kind of world. And you kind of get a picture of why they would want to leave that place.
Right.
So the first like act is like setting up the characters and their motivations and whatnot. But once we get into space, it kind of picks up. And I what I liked about this film is it gets back to the root of Alien and Aliens. It's that you're in the space station, you're in space, you got this claustrophobic feel. It's a cat and mouse game. But it's gritty, it's dark. It like felt like it was like just could have been made in 1982 or 79, that era. It was that like just that feel of a movie.
Right.
It wasn't bright and shiny like Prometheus or Covenant. It was kind of stripped down almost like to the bare basics. And I love the horror elements in this film. I thought a lot of practical effects in this film.
That's why
overall.
I was rooting for it, quite frankly, because they for a movie that's set between Alien and Aliens,
Yes.
It'd be nice if it kind of matched a little bit, especially whether it's the tone of one or the other, or also the effects, which I knew Fede Alvarez was all about. So I'm happy to hear that all worked out.
Yeah, the practical effects were great. So I was just in for the ride, and the third act obviously is survival of the fittest at that point. But I love Kaylee Spaney in this movie, man. She does her best Ripley without being Ripley, if that makes any sense. Like,
Sure.
Her character kind of evolves through the movie, and it falls into some of the pit traps as far as the other Alien films go. Like, oh, why'd they do this or whatever. I was in it, and I really like David Johnson playing Andy in this film. He kind of plays like the quote unquote brother to Kaylee Spaney's character,
Mm-hmm.
Rain. It's not a spoiler, but he's the AI on this one. Every
Got it.
Alien movie has an AI.
I know, yeah.
Right. So he's the AI. He's like an older model. Just his mission is to protect Rain at all costs and do what's in her best interest. And I love the way he just emoted that AI with his experience throughout this movie. It was just dark, gritty. Now, late in the third act, when we finally see the end result of one of the creatures, I had mixed feelings on that one. That's probably the only dour note I had in this. The look of one of the creatures. I'm like,
Right.
So stay off the internet, kids, because you'll see memes because it's kind of going around now.
Right.
But it did make sense. You get your blood splatters, which Fede Alvarez is known for. So I really, really, really enjoyed this movie. And maybe I'm basing it off the not crappy. I'm going to backtrack. Just the letdown I've had of the other Alien movies in this franchise. This is probably the best since Aliens. Like, it's better than Covenant, way better than Covenant, better than
Right.
Prometheus. Just it's the third. Aliens is my favorite. Just to put that out there, I like it. I like the sequel better than the original Alien movie.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, this is like right behind those two.
Which, listen, those two movies are unassailable. Like, they're easily there's a reason why there's so many of these movies, because they set such a high bar that people are just like waiting to kind of get back to those moments. And, to hear that it even comes close is
Right.
a high compliment. So I look forward to checking it out for sure.
Now, I will say, if you've never seen any of the Aliens movie, this is a movie that you can kind of go in cold and not know anything about the alien world and
Yeah.
enjoy it. Like, you don't need to know the background or see any other movies. So that's also why it kind of stands on its own, which I like as well. It doesn't feel forced to fit into the other franchise movies.
Yeah.
It kind of stands on its own, which is nice. And and recently watching Prometheus and Covenant, I just felt like this movie got back to what it should be, and not so much philosophical and engineers and just too shiny and new. It
Right.
just got back to the roots of being an alien movie, man. And it was
Yeah.
fun. It's a fun summer movie. I highly recommend this film.
Now, we've had before I get your score and everything else. I this summer, and I'm blanking to see whether we have some coming up besides like Beetlejuice, but this whole summer has been the Legacy sequel summer. Like, where would you put this? Like, what's a good comparison? Like between, because we had Inside Out 2, Deadpool, Wolverine, Furiosa, Romulus. I'm trying to think. Quiet Place Day One.
Mm-hmm.
Am I missing anything? Oh,
Fall
Twisters.
Guy? You want to
Twisters.
throw a Fall Guy in there?
No, because that's the
Okay.
first of anything. But like I'm saying,
Okay.
like Legacy sequels. Like that's not a
Legacy sequels. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
my bad.
So we've had more obviously earlier in the year, like your Godzilla X Kong, but like Quiet Place. But yeah, just this summer was Quiet Place, Twisters,
right.
Furiosa, Inside Out 2, Deadpool, Wolverine, and this movie. If not more that I'm not remembering.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. As opposed to like Bad Boys Ride or Die. I think, right?
Yeah, you're
So,
right. You're right.
Yeah. So, and again, I could be still forgetting some. So
Yeah.
that's insane. So where would you stack this one in that pile, I guess? Yeah.
In the pile of legacy movies. Oh man.
I know. That's a lot to throw on you. Sorry, but
It is. That's okay. That's okay.
just something I was
got it.
thinking about.
It's third. It's behind Furiosa and Deadpool and Wolverine.
Okay. All right.
It's really high for me.
Yeah. Because I don't think, well, I don't know if you even care, but like you didn't see Inside Out 2 or any of the, some of the other ones, right? You didn't see Twisters, but you didn't care. And
right. No, yeah, I didn't care. But no, I've seen most of them, but Inside Out 2, I kind of get what it is. And I'm sure it's a great movie. I just never got around to seeing it. You know what I mean?
For sure. Absolutely. All right, man. Well, then put a score on this and put a bow on this. And, because again, like the way you're speaking, it seems like this might be one of the better movies of the summer.
My personal grade on this, even with the creature we see at the end, I'm giving it a 4. It's a 4 for me, and that
Right.
I want to just paraphrase by saying it's going to be higher than most people probably have it. My assumption is when you do get around to seeing it, I got a feeling where you would grade it, which I think will be in the same ballpark. But I'm kicking it a notch higher. I'm going to 4 for this movie. It's a fun movie. I want to see Kaylee Spaney in more things now. Yeah. I think she kind of owned her role in this movie, especially coming off of Civil War,
where we had issues with her character.
Yeah, we had issues with her character.
Yeah.
So I'm also a solid 4 for me.
Didn't you give Deadpool Wolverine 3.5?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. So
I did.
So then
I know, but listen, if it goes to like rewatchability, I'm going to watch Deadpool and Wolverine more.
Sure,
you know
I
what
understand
I mean?
that. Yeah.
So,
okay.
I don't know how many times I could probably rewatch this a couple times spaced out, but like, I left the theater giving this a higher grade than Deadpool and Wolverine.
Right. Okay. Sounds good, man. Next up is the movie that we were going to cover last week, which is Cuckoo. Another one that we absolutely like, kind of love the vibe of this trailer. Kind of like a horror thriller that is a 17-year-old girl forced to move with her family to a resort where things are not what they seem. This is getting a 6.4, so a little lower score than what Romulus was doing. But Hunter Schafer is, kind of hot off the, she's kind of moving into the movie sector after being on Euphoria. And it showed, because when I was in the movie theater watching Cuckoo, I saw a lot of young fans in there for this movie, including like too young to be there sneaking in kind of a thing. And, it's getting pretty good reviews. Like I said, the 6.4 on IMDb, a 61 Metascore, which is close to what Romulus was getting. So for a small movie like this, I was actually pretty impressed with it. I don't know how you felt about it, but to me, I thought it got better as it went along. And I think I messaged you while I was in there going, Dan Stevens is a national treasure, basically. Because it's a weird movie in a positive way. It's Dan Stevens is unhinged, and I love it. And he's like darkly funny too in this movie for being like the villain of things, or whatever, I guess, half spoiler there. You can kind of imagine, but I thought everybody was good and the tension was great. I thought it started slow because it kind of, there's certain things with the storyline of the family that gets a little muddled and doesn't exactly track fully as the movie's going on. But once it kind of knows who's who and try to run to the end and kill, get people out of the way and really kind of cement the story, I thought it worked really well. And it's one of those, kind of like I said to you earlier in the year with Kinds of Kindness, like, or other movies that were just like strange, but I'm like, yeah, man, but it's my kind of strange. So I dug it. What did you feel about Cuckoo?
Yeah, I dug it as well. It, as you described to me, I think you messaged me like, I said, this movie's kind of like crazy or something. And you're like, yeah, well, you didn't go see like something like Welcome to a Normal Movie or something like that. Like,
yeah, it's called Cuckoo for a reason.
It's called Cuckoo, right?
Yeah.
It's called Cuckoo for a reason.
Yeah.
And it's weird coming off of Long Legs and seeing how kind of strange that movie was.
Yeah.
We get back to back kind of weird thriller, horror-ish kind of movies, right? And this one's even more batshit than Long Legs was.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about that too because a lot of people brought that up. The only thing is like Cage and certain elements of that stick with me a little bit more. Otherwise, like, yeah, they're pretty neck and neck.
Yeah. Dan Stevens is phenomenal. Like, he's great. I love the guy. I loved him ever since I saw that movie, The Guest. I've been on that bandwagon since then. And,
I loved him since Legion. I don't know if you watched Legion. I loved that
I did. I did.
Or I loved the early seasons anyway.
But, for usually a movie that I have to look up after I get done watching to see what the hell happened would piss me off, generally speaking. But it didn't in this way. Like, I love the cast. I love the beginning of the movie. I loved everything about this movie. Like, I was trying to figure stuff out. It had me just entrenched in this movie. So not one time I was like, oh man. I had people leave like 45 minutes into the movie, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, you're just trying to figure stuff out now. Like, what is going? But man, it gets that third act. It gets crazy.
Yeah.
So like, the cast is great. I thought Jessica Henwick was kind of, is that her name? Right?
Yeah, they just kind of tossed her in here. Like, I was like, that's a pretty big name for a role that doesn't do a whole hell of a lot.
Yeah, I thought she was kind of like a little miscast or not used properly. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, totally. I was like, okay, yeah. But like, at the end of this movie, you'll be scratching your head because it's the whole nature versus nurture. Like this, I don't know. Here's one question I have for you. What happened to the dog? What happened to the family dog?
That's a great question. I don't remember much about, like, besides them letting them out of the back of the trunk or whatever early on. I don't remember shit. So
never saw the dog again,
call.
Right?
Yeah.
Then was the father in on this? I don't know. Like, it was one of the questions I had.
I feel like to an extent, but I think things got too far afield, and like maybe they didn't know exactly what they were signing up for, but knew enough. Right?
But the creature, the so-called creature element in this, I really liked, man. It was creepy. Like, it was creepy, and the sound and everything. Now, I don't know if you want to throw up a little spoiler. I'm not going to spoil the ending or anything, but like the only part I really couldn't figure out, and I just stopped trying to, was the whole loop thing. I didn't understand that. They never really explained it, and the director never really explained it. So I'm like, okay, he just threw it in there, I guess. Like,
I think it's just supposed to be that the presence of whatever beast we're dealing with here is present, like that, and it's controlling, because like it was that whole like, almost like a sonic disturbance in your brain that causes like these kind of almost like migraines or loopiness and all this. So I just took it all to be in the same bucket.
Yeah, that's the part I'm like, Okay, but no, it was
Yeah.
great. I love this movie. So a little different, like I said, a little different than I thought it was going to be, but pleasantly surprised in this movie.
Yeah, I'm in. And it's, for a movie that it was a Sundance film, I believe,
Hmm.
and Neon picked it up, and which again, I believe that's Longlegs is also Neon, right?
Yes, it is. Yep.
Yeah. So again, we're kind of like seeing all their cards, right? They're like, if this is fucked up, we know how to sell it, and boy, did they! And I had a great time with it. Again, slow start, but
Hmm.
got Dan Stevens with how he pronounced Hunter Schafer's character's name. It was like Gretchen.
Yeah.
And like she's like, "Are you saying that right?" Like, it's Gretchen. Yeah, Gretchen. Yeah, it was so funny. Like I said, he was just in another world. And on top of that, the kind of creature-ish woman that is reoccurring in this movie too. I thought that was well designed for something that's kind of like very cheap and basic, but like just
Yes.
the red
Effective.
eyes,
It was
the
effective.
hood, just enough. The sounds coming out of her was impressive. Although you were probably as jarred as I would. I think they even showed in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler, but the grab down below and kind of feed you their inside
Goo?
matters. Yeah, their goo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, yikes. Okay, this is a lot.
Yeah.
But again, like if you're gonna go for it, fucking go for it. And I had no issue with that whatsoever. So between the conspiracy stuff, the thriller, the horror elements, the almost like kind of monster horror to it, I dug it. I'll rip the Band-Aid off. I gave it 3.5.
I gave it the same exact score. I gave it a 3.5.
Yeah, the year of 3.5. So we've always talked
Yeah.
about this, where it's like, hey, it was solid. I had a good time, but there's only like a handful of movies that maybe were like, yeah, are the elite, and then everybody else is like, yeah, this is good, And this is another one. Yeah, that was good. And I'll
Yep.
if in fact, like as a compliment to Tillman Singer, the director of the movie, he has another movie called Luz. Luz.
Yep.
Luz. I watched the trailer for that too. That looks even crazier than Cuckoo was, and it looks fucking cool. And it's got a lot of like good scores and everything else. So if I get some time, I would go back and watch that too. I would suggest if you liked Cuckoo, if you saw this, or if you're interested, check that one out too. Check out the trailer for that one too. You'll be like, ooh, this guy has a type, and I like it.
Yeah, I saw that too, and I wrote it down in my queue. If I ever see it coming around, I'm gonna watch it. But I did hear if you're confused about this ending, you're gonna be really confused about his prior film. So I'm like,
Excellent.
all right, let's go for it.
Plus, this one had multiple languages, mostly English. I think the other one is not in English at all. So,
Correct.
so if you want to add more nuttiness to that, add subtitles to the mix, right? So that's cool. But yeah, I'm glad you dug it too, especially because as we go along in this, unless you throw me some fucking like loop,
Speaking of loops,
the rest of the movies on our list to talk about is not going to be very impressive. So we'll just get to that one. We'll bang these three out. The three streaming options, the big name ones over the last couple weeks here. We'll start with the Instigators, which was I can't believe the names that are coming out of my mouth, and then I'm gonna just dismantle this freaking movie. Matt Damon, Casey Affleck are the stars of this film. It's for Apple TV Plus, who we generally have a lot of faith in terms of, especially their movies for the most part are pretty solid. And, obviously we've sung their praises enough about certain series and everything else. And obviously put the money into it and everything else. So no big deal there. And then this is directed by Doug Liman, which if you talk to me in like 2008, I'd be like, Doug Liman is the shit. He's one of the best directors we have. And now it's like, bro, like you did Roadhouse and The Instigators in the same year. It's like, you all right, dude? You like what is happening? Why have you been relegated to the bench essentially when, you know, so many like iffy directors get to do all this franchise stuff and it's like, you know, you have Doug Liman hanging around. Like, what are you doing? So tough one here, man. Like this movie, Matt Damon's probably one of my favorite actors.
Yeah.
And I'm watching this movie. The script is fucking incoherent. Like there is no driving force. There is no takeaways from this whatsoever. The only repeatable thing, which apparently they liked so much that they kind of ended with it, was Matt Damon needed a sum of money to like kind of get on the good graces of being a father with his son again. And it's like a very specific number and whatever, but it's like a heist movie that is the most, it's a lot to be like, we're going to rob the mayor. What do you mean you're going to rob the mayor? Well, he's a shady mayor and he does these drops, these dead drops all over, what are they, in Chicago?
Yeah,
I think.
Don't know.
Yeah.
Massachusetts, Massachusetts, I thought. Somewhere.
Is it, or are you just saying that because it's Damon? I thought it was Chicago. Either way, it doesn't matter because nothing matters in this fucking movie. Ron Perlman is the mayor here. You barely see him. You barely get to know him. Like, I don't have a shake on him. You just are told that he's shady and does these, like, dumps of money to various people to try to influence in terms of the election that was happening that night, too. And then, of all things, like, the election didn't even go his way. And it's like, okay. And then it's bizarre. Paul Walter Hauser's in this movie too. Yeah. And like there's a bunch of people in here. I'm like, good God, how can this movie be bad? It's not good. The only thing that I kind of laughed at a couple times, which I don't even know if it's supposed to be a laugh thing, and it's completely implausible in a lot of senses, is like when he's just like, you smell that gas and then just blows places up. That's the only time I was like, that's fun. But outside of that, this movie is boring, and it's a heist movie with two like amazing actors and a deep cast around them. What the hell, Shane?
Yeah, I can't figure this one out. I was actually looking forward to this because, like you, I love Matt Damon. I like Casey Affleck as an actor. I do. I like him a lot, and he's the only thing that semi-saved this movie for me because his character got all the juice. His character got all the lines.
Yeah, they didn't give Damon shit.
Damon just was like a robot in this movie. He was unemotional. He might as well have been AI in this movie. He might as well have been like an alien eye because
pretty much
we don't know his motivations outside the $30,725. You know, he goes to counseling. Oh, we know he was in the Marines as an electrician or some shit, and then he wants to commit suicide. Maybe. I don't know. You get a Ving Rhames in this movie, who I love. Ving Rhames. Oh my God, he's in a couple scenes.
Yeah.
And you could just he walks. I'm like, oh, he looks old. He's walking old. He's moving old. Like he's just not good.
Which is funny because he looks reasonably well in the Mission movies. And they just did one.
Yeah, and Casey Affleck was part writer on this movie. Like I don't understand. Like they must have called in all the favors they had. Totally. I don't understand this movie. Like you said, the script was all over the place. For a heist movie, it's one of the worst heist movies I've ever seen. Like I said, there's really no motivation other than Casey Affleck took a phone call and he's on the job. There's no reason for him to be there.
No, it's really hard to explain.
Yeah, and Matt Damon's there because he needs $30,000, right? Whatever. And he's ready to cut bait at any time. It's like, I don't understand his character in this movie at all.
No.
Again, Casey Affleck's the only thing that saved this movie for me.
And the Hong Chow therapist thing, I didn't even say that. And it's like, that is bananas, but it's like a big part of this movie.
It is. And that part was so ridiculous. I mean, the whole movie was ridiculous. It just was ridiculous, made no sense. And again, it was boring. I was so disappointed. So disappointed.
Yeah. How can he not be?
Matt Damon's worst performance ever, and his worst movie ever.
And here's the thing. I listened to some podcasts about that. Like the fact that this has a 6.2 on IMDb and it has a reasonable score that might be above a 3 on Letterboxd last I looked, or a minimum a high 2. I think it was a low 3. Fuck you. This movie's nowhere close to that. Like, I debated, I'm like, is it lower than a 2?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd probably give it a 2 just because, like, it looked good and there were, some really good people in it. But, like I said, it just it bored me to tears. I didn't know anything that's going on. It's so convoluted and it's not fun. It has, like, a few moments of fun. You could tell where people were, like, lit up in a scene and really going for it, but that was way few and far between. So to me, you're lucky. I guess I'll give you a 2.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I did give it a little higher. I gave it a 2.5, only because it looked good in Casey Affleck. If he wasn't in this movie, I would give it like a 1.5 to 1. Like if it was anybody else.
Yeah, it's sleepwalking through it, and then tries to be funny, and I just like, why?
Yeah, so I gave it a 2.5.
And it fucking has Alfred Molina in here too.
Yes.
Like
I know.
I just keep forgetting these people. Like, I was like, holy shit! Like it's incredible. Like this has the amount of stars of a fucking Ocean's movie, and has nothing in common with the two
at all.
Yeah,
nothing.
Horrifyingly dumb. So yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough beat. Next one up isn't much better. Jackpot from Amazon Prime. This was a complete, like, it's one of those, like, you see the cast in this one, you're not thinking like the Instigators was, where you're like, oh, this could be like a dark horse, like hit of the summer kind of a thing. That was not what I was thinking with Jackpot, but I was like, you know what? Fuck it. It's a streamer. It's out on a Thursday night. I could just take it in, and I like John Cena in comedy spots, but he needs a new agent. Can I just say that?
Yes.
Because, between Ricky Stenicki and this, and I can't remember the post-Peacemaker John Cena, he's good. The projects are not. Can we say that?
Yes, I agree.
Am I forgetting something?
No,
because
I agree with you wholeheartedly, because he was also in Argyle, which he was good in.
Again, this is what I'm saying. I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Did you... this is a strong ask. Jackpot's not very good. It's at best a 2.5. But, like, the end credits, I laughed more at John Cena's outtakes than anything else in the movie. Correct. I don't know if you stayed for them.
I did.
You did.
I did.
Yeah, he's funny. Like that moment where he's like trying to be truthful and know her, like in the panic room, and he just keeps saying ridiculous thing after ridiculous thing. They're hilarious, and they used none of it.
Not a one.
So this movie, for anyone who didn't check it out and is like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Because it's Amazon Prime, and they just kind of slapped it on there. This is a movie that's set in the near future. I think it's late 2020s,
or 2029 or something like that. 2029, yeah.
So they create a grand lottery that's been established in California, where it's like the lottery meets the Purge, sort of, where it's like the winner that everyone knows, because I guess they put the picture of the winner on these like fancy kind of digital tickets that people all have. If you kill the winner before sundown, you can legally claim their jackpot. Whew. And again, remember how I mentioned about how the whole like, damn, Doug Liman, like that guy used to be huge.
I know
whatever.
What you're gonna say, yes.
And I was like, wait a minute, this was directed by Paul Feig? Fuck you. This movie's terrible for Paul Feig. What are you doing? God, I couldn't take it. But yeah, John Cena, Awkwafina, Simulu, like it's a lot of, again, big time people in here. And it's literally just a chase movie. Oh, by the way, like, and probably I liked the first 5 minutes because I was like, ooh, Sean William Scott's back in the fold.
Yeah, me too. I was like, Stifler, I love that guy.
Yeah, and all he is just the opening jackpot winner before Awkwafina goes on the rest of the movie. But I was like, ooh, Sean William Scott. And I don't know why that guy doesn't work, or at least like not in something high profile enough that I see it, I guess, maybe. But outside of the American Pie movies, I probably haven't seen him in something since like the early 2000s, mid 2000s. I don't know.
Yeah, I got to go back and check, but he was great in I know it's not a high profile movie, but
role models. I fucking
Role
love.
Models,
Yeah.
Goon was really good.
Yeah. But again, isn't even that like almost 15 years old now?
I think so, but he was in. Oh God, you're gonna make me look it up. But he was one of the bad Nazi guys in that sequel. Kevin James was in the first one, but the girl who goes on a revenge kick and hold on,
The Wrath of Becky.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that. You're right. Yeah.
So he's been in more like independent, lower budget kind of projects, but I love Sean William Scott, man. I do as an actor. So yeah, I was thrown off by that too. I got excited, and as soon as the movie ended, like you, I'm like, no freaking way Paul Feig directed this. And my girlfriend was like, who's that? I'm like, he did Bridesmaids, he did Heat, he did Spy. Like he has I love him as a director. He does good comedy.
Yeah.
And what the hell is he doing this film? Yeah. Now, to answer the question I posed to you between this and Instigators, I'd rewatch Jackpot over the Instigators in a heartbeat, because I at least feel like the Jackpot got more entertaining as it went on. Like the last act or second and third act, to me, I was at least entertained in bits by some of the action parts in it.
I guess. Yeah.
John Cena mainly, you know?
It's all John Cena. Like basically because they make Awkwafina the wet blanket.
Yes.
So, which is not her strong suit. Which actually, maybe I should take that back, because in Quiz Lady, she's kind of the nerdy, non-comic relief, more of the straight person, and she's good, and that movie's good. But this is not that, and it's supposed to be like this.
This is a step below for her.
Oh God, yeah. Like I felt bad for her, because like she basically just had to be the read and react thing.
Yeah,
and they didn't know whether she should be funny or not a lot of the time, and it got cringy on some of the reactions on it. So I don't know.
No, this is not a good movie either. Just to make that clear, it's not a good movie. But if I had to choose the two, you said shoot them both into space. I said, you kind of have to choose one.
Yeah.
So, like, if I had to choose one to rewatch, it would be Jackpot over The Instigators for me.
Because you love Machine Gun Kelly, right? That's what it is.
I love,
you love a little MGK.
Gun Kelly, as he's...
is that all he is now?
Referred to in this movie.
They call him MGK. I thought they do the whole thing. No,
one time Awkwafina's like, "Hey, Mr. Gun Kelly" or something. Because she didn't.
Yeah.
So, anyway, crazy. I was excited. You know, I had no expectations. I didn't even know this movie was coming out until like a week ago when I saw the first, commercial for it on Amazon.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, John Cena's got a new movie out, and
I feel like that's what Ricky Stenicki was too.
Well, I will say this is leaps and bounds better than Ricky Stenicki.
Sure.
Because that movie was straight, just everything about that movie was garbage. At least this was slightly better, but not very much better.
Here's a question, and this is possibly unfair. Do you think he's just doing too much? Like, I'm looking at just trying to remember, like, oh, what was he in? Just trying to catch up. In 2023... he was in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 projects.
Holy
and
crap.
Argyle was like right on the cusp, like it was like January or like February. And then if you count 2024, he's done Argyle, Ricky Stenicki, multiple Raw, WrestleMania stuff, whatever. He was on The Bear. He was in Die Hard 2 and Jackpot. And if I look at his upcoming and I see still slated for 2024, I might, cry. So, yeah.
Yeah, like you said, I just think he needs a new agent, because everything he's done outside of Peacemaker and his role in the Suicide Squad, the James Gunn Suicide Squad.
Sure.
I did like his little cameo in The Bear, but it was a cameo. That's all it was. But I did like his little cameo there.
Sure.
Like Vacation Friends 1 and 2. Don't forget the sequel to Vacation Friends. I mean,
which both of them were done in sequential years, like back-to-back years, right?
Yeah, back-to-back years.
It's like, Jesus, really? We needed that?
Yeah, it just has not been good. And I don't know. I'm not going to hate a guy for wanting to work and just working, but man, dude, like, just like we used to say about Bruce Willis 15, 20 years ago, just say no. Just say no. You can
Yeah,
say
but
no
we
to a
now
script.
know he was dying. Is John Cena dying?
Yeah, but Samuel Jackson that died, and he had the same thing about 15 years ago. He was in everything, like
I
everything.
guess that's true, but man, he was in the fucking MCU. Like,
I know.
you
I know.
can make certain exceptions. I don't know, man. Like, this is just tough. He's
and I feel like John Cena in spots.
Aquafina's kind of the female John Cena a little bit too, where it's like I feel like she was in everything, whether she's a voice or a human being. Like, she's been in multiple projects, but John Cena puts her to shame.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
absolutely. So yeah.
And Aquafina's another person where it's like she needs another kind of like it's maybe terrible to say that she needs another hit, but like, because Quiz Lady was good. I enjoyed it.
It was good.
But,
I like that. It was a sleeper hit.
Yeah.
I thought.
But yeah, I don't know. She's in a hit or miss project wise, and she kind of keeps playing very similar roles. So I think that's maybe part of my issue with her a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, she's teamed up again with Simu Liu. They're back together again.
Yeah, from Shang-Chi.
Yeah, and I didn't like his character either. Like, it's like, what are you doing with your career since 10 Rings? I thought it'd take off a little bit more, but it has not, because he was in that terrible Jennifer Lopez movie.
Yep, Atlas.
And he follows that up with this. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
it's like, what are you doing, guy?
Yeah. Was Cena and Simu Liu both in Barbie? Or am
yes.
So they were both Kens, right?
Oh, that's right. He wasn't. Yeah, okay, my bad. I forgot he was. Yep, you're right.
That's what I'm telling you, man. He's in so many things you forget how many
I forget, yeah.
So, good Lord. But yeah, so yeah, like I said, this movie at best is a 2.5. It's like that happened because it moves so much that you can't even sit with how ridiculous it is at times, and how they just like her Airbnb host character is cringy bad.
Yes,
like they did
so
nothing to think about how to set this thing in motion. They just wanted to set this thing in motion, and that was it.
I agree. I also gave it a 2.5.
Yeah. So, but yes, I would agree. If they both fell off the service and were shot into space, I'd be totally fine with it. So, keep that in mind, folks. A slight upgrade to these two, I'll say. I know you didn't get to catch this one, right? The Union on Netflix with Mark Wahlberg and Halle Berry. And again, another like deep cast of like, what? Who's in this? Where it's, I don't know if did you see the list?
I did. Impressive.
And it's like J.K. Simmons, fucking Lorraine Bracco is his mom for like 5-10 minutes. It's like, what the hell? This is amazing. So yeah, just a deeper cast. A lot of people. Oh, your boy Luke Cage. What is it? Mike Coulter?
Yep.
Right. Pretty solid effort all the way around. With the casting at least. And to me, while this movie is mostly incoherent in terms of like, the only way you would believe a person could come off the street, learn how to be kind of a secret agent badass, and then go into the field and be plausible by the end of the movie, it can only be like a handful of people where you just look at them and you go, I believe you could be a secret agent. But like the thought of that being like a construction worker who had 2 weeks to prepare for a mission, and then he's like, doing Jason Bourne shit, you'd be like, come the fuck on, right? But that is Mark Wahlberg in this movie, and he can pull it off because they have 2 stars. That I wrote this in the article. I don't know if you read my review of it or anything, but like you couldn't have 2 more people in common, could you? Where 2 people who are just like slowly getting into the Netflix streaming machine, and 2 people who got big in the 90s, 2 people who were like, Oscar nominated or win in the case of Halle Berry, People who got caught up in big franchise IP, whether it's Transformers, X-Men, this, like whatever, and then have now kind of resigned to just being in anywhere that will make them a star. And it's mostly in streaming these days, outside of, a few choice, like the Uncharteds of the world. But yeah, these two belong in a movie with each other. It's surprising that they haven't worked together before, I don't believe.
Nope.
And, they don't have great chemistry as a relationship thing, but as like a pair that can work off each other, do the action well, and perform a mission and be capable. Yeah, they are. So to me, this is also probably a 2.5. I gave it a 3 on the review thing because we don't do half stars, but where I thought 2 felt gross, 3,
Right.
3 felt also kind of too hot, but like I just had to, I wanted to feel pretty good to say it's okay for people to watch this movie because it gets better as it goes along. The action in the final act of the movie is good, and other than that, for being at home, it's like, okay, cool. Because, and again, if your options are the Union, Jackpot, or the Instigators, I'm choosing the Union.
Okay.
Now, again, is that a high endorsement? It isn't. But,
No.
there are worse nights than dialing up Mark Wahlberg, Halle Berry, shooting people, shooting bad guys, and, being secret agents.
Yeah, no, this is on my list. I will see it this week. I just had trouble with Netflix one night, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to even bother. So let's just watch something else. So yeah, that's the only reason why I didn't see it. But I like Halle Berry. I like Mark Wahlberg in most projects. So yeah, I will check this out. And I will say, just based off what I said to Jackpot, I thought Netflix did a poor job of promoting this movie.
Terrible
with
job.
Halle Berry and Mark Wahlberg in it. It's like I didn't know it was coming out till like 2 weeks ago, and I was just happened to come upon this article, and it was coming out. I'm like, what? Like this is August? So yeah, there you go.
And there's a movie this week that you probably haven't even heard of, where it's your girl from It's Always Sunny, and I think is Cannavale in that movie too. Yeah, it's a movie Incoming, where it's, 4 freshman kids navigating the terrors of adolescence at their first ever high school party. And it's Dave and John Chernin directing and writing. And I believe it's produced and has Caitlin Olsen from It's Always Sunny. Oh, it's produced by Nick Stoller, too, which...
Okay.
I don't know. You're familiar with Nick Stoller?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of quality talent. I mean, it's got young kid cast in it, but it's also got Caitlin Olsen, Bobby Cannavale's in it. Yeah. So this movie comes out this week, and I don't think I've seen even a trailer for that.
Never heard of it till you just mentioned it.
Yeah. But I'll be covering it.
Yeah.
So everybody look out for that review. But yeah, they really dropped the ball with marketing for the Union 2, I thought. Like, they'll have their premieres, they'll do their little thing. I'm sure it's marketed all up and down in California and but in LA, but not around here. If you're not in the major metros, maybe this just got lost. But yeah, it's rough. But again, better than Jackpot and the Instigators. But something I did hear good things about, and I'd love to hear you talk about it to close, is Apple TV Plus's Bad Monkey with Vince Vaughn. So that one's in the Florida Keys, right? It's kind of more like to me, the way people describe it, it's like, how would you? I'll let you do it because you actually watched it. Like the vibes on that seem, it's like light on its feet. It feels almost like it could be a USA Network show from years ago a little bit.
That is a good pull. It's just a light, breezy summer cocktail of a show. Like, that's the best way I could describe it. Like, if Jimmy Buffett produced a show, this would be it.
What's the crux? Like, what kind of show?
So basically, I'll just read right from IMDb, kiddos. It's a detective turned restaurant inspector in southern Florida is pulled into a world of greed and corruption after a tourist finds a severed arm while fishing. And yes, there's a monkey. So that is the gist of it. You open up, you see Vince Vaughn's character. He is a detective in the Keys, but he's suspended. So he's just kind of chilling out. And they call in a favor for him to deliver this arm to Miami. And of course, something doesn't sit right with him with this 7 arm, and he kind of launches his own investigation while being on the suspension. And it kind of goes from there. So you got 2 interlocking stories. You got what's happening on the Keys, and then you got events going on in the Bahamas. And the 2 episodes kind of bounce back and forth because they eventually do merge. Like the characters from the Bahamas do merge with the characters from the Keys in this show. But it's like a nice murder mystery detective comedy, I guess it would be. You get classic Vince Vaughn in here. And I am a Vince Vaughn. I make no apologies for my love for this guy. Like, I don't care. People get tired of his shtick. And it is the Vince Vaughn shtick here. But it's more of a mature Vince Vaughn, if that makes any sense. He's still sarcastic. He's witty. He talks a mile a minute, but it comes off more from a mature perspective, adult in Vince Vaughn in this one. You got Rob Delaney coming off of Deadpool and Wolverine in this. Meredith Hanger, Natalie Martinez, who is another just hot firecracker in this one. And you get his partner, played by John Ortiz. And produced, I think, created by Bill
Lawrence. Yeah. That was going to be my next question, because it's like fresh off of Ted Lasso, obviously on the Apple TV Plus side, and working on Shrinking, which I sent you. Yes. I'm so happy to report that Shrinking is coming back in October.
Yes.
And I couldn't be happier. Yeah.
So this show in the first 2 episodes kind of lays the groundwork. And again, when everyone merges, I guess it's going to pick up steam. So it just kind of like sets the pace for the 2 episodes. I felt like I was thinking about Shrinking the entire time when I'm watching this, and they're totally 2 different shows, but they're similar in the fact that Shrinking got better as the episodes went on because it's like laying foundation for you to kind of work with going forward.
Sure.
I feel like this show did the same thing. It's just laying the groundwork so you understand the characters in the situation, and then once everyone comes together, then it just starts to roller coaster off the rails from there. So,
gotcha.
But until then, I enjoyed his banter. I enjoyed Vince Vaughn's character. The only thing I did not like, and I cannot get away from, is the first 2 episodes, and I'm sure the rest of the show is, it's narrated by someone we do meet in the show, and I do not like it. It's unnecessary. I don't know why they chose to have this show through that lens of having it narrated to us. It kind of takes me out of certain situations, but the feeling I had at this end of the second episode, I'm like, all right, here we go. Like, I'm loving it. So, I highly recommend the show, especially if you're a Vince Vaughn fan. It's hilarious, but it's good. It's like a nice summer show, like sandals, feet in the sand, drinking a Mai Tai. This is what this show is.
Exactly. No, that's great. And so they dropped the first 2, and it's going to be weekly in the
on
presumed
Wednesday
innocent
nights.
spot, basically,
Yep.
right? Yeah.
Yep.
So just to say too, I did listen to the Watch podcast on the Ringer podcast network, and those guys are always great and in depth, and they always have like kind of like that inside take, like I heard this or I know this kind of a thing. And the only thing I heard about this show that when they were talking about it is that I think it went through a lot of reshoots and a lot of re-editing, and like I think even Vince Vaughn was a late addition to this show. So one of the things that they were saying is hallmarks of all that, and was part of that was the narration, like to make things feel like it kind of came together a little bit more. So, I haven't seen it. I can't say how jarring or not it is, but that was one of the things that they did mention. But that and a few other things, but they were like, it feels like a show that went through some reshoots, some rejiggering to make it look and feel as good as it does.
Yeah, if that's the case, then it does make sense, though it is still jarring, and you'll get it when you watch it. You're like, ugh, okay.
Sure. Yeah, well, so I'm glad it's off to a good start. I as we kind of talked about other people either we'd love to have better agents or make a comeback or do anything. Vince Vaughn is kind of the higher profile version of a Sean William Scott thing where I'm just like, man, I wish that guy was in more good stuff. And in fact, I don't know. I thought we talked recently. I don't know if it was you and me, but like I saw a meme with Owen Wilson the other day and I was just like, man, where the fuck has that guy been? And it's like, and Vince Vaughn and him were tethered together, like where they did a couple of films, one obviously starting with Wedding Crashers and then going from there. But like they kind of both feel in the same category where they kind of just faded away a little bit. Like their star just faded enough and, and they just pick up where they can. And this feels at least suited for Vince Vaughn, and I hope it does something for him to kick him back into gear.
Yeah, I share the same sentiment. I hope that this is a vehicle that kind of brings him out back into the mainstream where I think he belongs, because he's making the rounds for sure. Like not to belabor this this talk of Vince Vaughn, but he was recently on an episode of the Hot Ones where he's eating the wings and
right.
And he's right. He kind of said like the comedies he's known for, Hollywood does not make anymore. They are afraid to make those comedies.
Sure.
So, I mean, if you're not doing that anymore, you got to kind of have to find a new niche in it, Yeah. And he's good in serious stuff too. I'm not taking that away from him. We all love him and know him from those kind of raunchy, over the top comedies. And we talked about this before in the podcast. Outside of that Jennifer Lawrence Netflix movie a year ago or 2 years ago, there's no... Hollywood does not make comedies like that. They make smart, witty, and dry, funny comedies because they're safe, or the artsy comedy because it plays. You know what I mean? So just give us Wedding Crashers and give us those movies back, please.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's all about the script too, right? But like, he's just primed to being in something like this, but in a movie sense, where it's like an Apple TV movie or a Amazon Prime movie or a Netflix movie, where he's just in something that is like a little daring, but he's the lead and he can kind of just charm offensive the shit out of it. It's so funny where it's like, I first probably knew about Vince Vaughn with Swingers back in the day. And it's like Jon Favreau and him, and you couldn't have two different careers, buddy. Like, oh my God. Because Favreau kind of like, only went back and forth with the actual acting part of it and became more of this director, producer monolith that like got caught up in the MCU and other big stuff, with, I think he did the Lion King one too, right? And everything. So he always seems to be this like franchise whisperer and all this, when he couldn't have come from an opposite direction doing like indie movies like, Swingers and Made and with Vaughn in tow for both, and then, doing stuff like Chef and whatever else. Like, it's so funny, his career, that is just like, wow, what are you known for? And then Vince Vaughn, his trajectory went up and up and up, and then just went down and down and down. And that's kind of like the arc of a career with an actor. But still, I do. I miss him doing his thing. Yeah,
like you said, Vince Vaughn shot out the gates way faster than Jon Favreau did,
Oh, yeah, sure.
And, like you said, he's just kind of swung in reverse about like halfway through their careers. Like one just kept going up and the other one just like stayed stagnant and then went down. So
yeah, I'm
glad you brought up Made real quick, because I fell in love with him. I think everyone fell in love with him during Swingers, but I love Made. Like, I absolutely love his character. If you've never seen Made, people, it's on Tubi TV. Or the Roku channel. Yes. So please go check that movie out. It's Sam Rockwell's in that movie. People forget Famke Jensen, Sam Rockwell, P. Diddy. I don't know if we're supposed to say his name anymore, but P. Diddy's in it.
I know. Yeah.
Faison Love. It's Peter Falk. It's a funny, great movie that I love.
Great soundtrack too. That was the first time I listened to Jurassic 5, and I've loved them ever since. So good shit, man. But yeah, I'll co-sign that. I really like Made too. I mean, it was not Swingers, so it was a little jarring to watch it first, but it was just like, I just love these people. Yep. And that's all it takes. So it's a cool movie, you know? It's an indie cool movie. Great stuff by you. Anything else on the docket, on the brain here as we're ending this, what we're looking forward to this week? And
I'll tell you what I'm gonna watch this week, but first I want to get to the box office real fast. And this kind of blew my
Sure.
mind. I don't know why, but it did. Did you see what came in fifth and made $8.5 million this weekend?
Was it the Coraline re-release?
The re-release of Coraline. I was like,
I almost took my kids, but I was like, you know what? That movie kind of freaked me out a little bit when I watched it. I was like,
Dude.
this might mess my kids up with the button eyes and the
Oh.
darkness like of it. It's crazy. Yeah.
My daughter watched it and she loved it, but set that aside because that's what she likes. But it is unsettling and creepy in that movie.
Yeah.
But no, were you like shocked that was number 5 and made over 8 million for a re-release?
You know, it's a weird time to where I am surprised. I thought, you know, especially because I don't even know, was it like the full weekend, I guess, right? I guess it would have to be, right?
Yeah.
If it made that much money. I thought this would have been like a, you know, where
2,
they were
3?
doing like, yeah, where they were, remember how they were doing like a lot of these re-releases where it's only like Sunday and Wednesday and it doesn't
Right.
do like the whole weekend. They really put a lot of effort to be like, listen, Inside Out 2 and Despicable Me 4 like did their money, but we have like a hole here for kids. Let's just toss this and see what happens. And that was surprising how effective that was, but that's a decent strategy to be like, here's a hole, let's put something back in.
Yeah, and for them, like you said, to pick out a movie that is kind of creepy for kids. Those button
Yeah.
eyes freak me the hell out. Like you said, they freak me out.
But Neil Gaiman, like, and
I know.
the related people with that kind of animation stuff, that's a cult classic. You know, it's
It
kind of like
is.
if they put Corpse Bride or something like out in the same breath, where it's like, oh, it's like these cool directors or cool, you know, animation styles or big names or whatever. It's like sometimes those things just work. And what was the anniversary? 15?
15, yeah.
Who gives a shit amount of years too.
Yeah.
They just went like, all right, well, this sounds good. Here you go.
Yeah, I was just surprised and wanted to bring that up. Going into this week, I'm looking forward to Blink Twice.
Yes, which is getting solid reviews at the gate. I think it has an 80
Yep.
Rotten Tomatoes score.
And because of, I'm just going to call her out, because of my girlfriend, I'm seeing something I vowed not to see.
Oh, you're not?
I am.
No.
Yeah.
Blake Lively?
No.
Oh, I thought it was worse. Okay, because that's like
No.
an abomination. Okay.
Well, no, this is worse. This is the Crow remake.
No, that's not worse. Come on, you're
Yeah.
you're a dude. You can at least watch some action with a guy you like. That no, if you were dragged to it ends with or whatever the fuck that movie is, where it's like, hey, everybody, get your girlfriends together and let's go watch this movie. When it's like, this movie's about domestic violence. Like, why are you so chummy? Why are you so cheery? Why are you
Listen.
trying to get people to go in packs? What's
Andrew,
going on?
hand to God, if I was invited to go see that movie other than The Crow, I'd choose the Blake Lively movie. I would. Like, there's some remakes that I'm staunch opposed to, like The Karate
Sure.
Kid with Jackie Chan. I'll never see it. I'll never
Sure.
see that movie.
Fair enough. Oh, so you hate this because you like the original?
I love the original Crow.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
Love
All
the original
right.
Crow.
Yeah.
Soundtrack was right when I was in, right when we were both in high
Well,
school. Like,
yeah.
it just hit.
Yeah.
Brandon Lee killed it. I mean, everything
Right.
about that movie I loved.
Even the
And-
City of Angels soundtrack is banging.
Yeah, in this movie, I was like, there's no way I'm seeing this bullshit. Like, I can't believe they chose this to remake. Fuck them. Go see the original Crow on Amazon right now.
Right.
And my girlfriend was like, that actually kind of looks good. I want to see that. And I was like, my head almost popped. But I'm like, you know what? Fair enough. I'm pretty sure I drag you to a crap load of movies that you have little to no interest in, and you sit
Sure.
through them.
Yes.
So, like you said, it's a guy that I do like coming off of Boy Kills World. It should be at least entertaining. But
You need to go full makeup, Shane. That's what needs to happen. You need to go. You need to go like just your hair's already dark. You could pull it off, man. You could just just kind of trim up some stuff. Face paint, do the whole thing. I think that would work.
I'm
Yeah.
going there like Sting from WCW.
Yes,
or
exactly.
something.
Isn't that the same look?
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
is the
to
same
be
look.
honest, it's the same look.
Yeah. So anyway, it's Blink Twice, The Crow, and then The Killer, I think, is on Peacock. So I'll check that out.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also interested. I don't know if it's going to be around. Let me take a look. Okay. When is that? the 22nd. Yeah, okay. Strange Darling. Have you heard of this movie? I told
have,
you,
yes.
yeah, I got some promotional stuff from them. So they're billing it as a dark romantic thriller, but I'm like, this is about a serial killer. So I'm like, I don't know if those labels are accurate. But basically, I know that I don't know if he produced it, but I know that Giovanni Ribisi was the
Yes.
I think he's the producer and the cinematographer of this movie, but he didn't direct it, and I think he's in a small role maybe too. But it's getting good reviews, so I'm interested in this, and I've seen some people really go for it. So that is also going to be around this weekend. So that might also, because I'm on vacation, but I don't have all the time in the world because my kids are also don't have camp or anything and aren't in school yet. So it's a tough mix. But if I could pull it off, I'd love to see probably Blink Twice, maybe Strange Darling, and obviously, like I said, I'll have to watch something else for Netflix. But we'll see how that goes too. But so it's going to be at least a 3. If not, I'm going to try to catch Alien Romulus to just to catch up on some things. And other than that, I think when I looked at before Alien Romulus came out, I think in the major movie theater around my parts, I saw everything that was there before Alien Romulus came out. I think I literally saw every single movie that was out in theaters at that time. Outside of there was a few Indian movies that came out around here. But that's about it. Yeah. So this is our life, dude. Every time we take a week off because we're like, oh, maybe there's nothing or something. Somehow we still watch every goddamn movie. So don't say we're lazy, even if we take a week off.
That's not always a good thing, people. That's not always a good thing. We probably should try to avoid some of these movies. But like you said at the top of the podcast, we did avoid Borderlands. So
we did.
Kudos for us on that.
Yeah, we snuffed that one out real good. So that's great, man. I'll try to catch up on Bad Monkey, and we'll keep an eye on that as it goes along. And then obviously we'll try to get to these movies that we mentioned now. Be sure to subscribe, so you don't miss anything from us going forward. Tell a friend, and be sure to check us out on the socials at Recent Act Pod, and come back next week for more recent activity.